Hey guys, I hope you're well. If any of you ever wondered what I look like, well, there you go. Hope I didn't scare you. I see more pattern on my phone screen. I don't know what you'll see. I don't know what I'll see when I edit this, but that's me, man. That perfectly captures three phases of my life as a child growing up in a much different world than we live in today. In the middle is Chuck in Seattle, Washington. Many of you know now why I was there for 13 years. We'll talk about that again in a moment. And on the right hand, far right, is Chuck as of today. Looks exactly like me, sadly. Okay, guys. Now, the rubber band that holds my phone to my tripod's covering perfectly the pause. The pause. So you're going to have to roll with me, man. Let's zoom you out to capture the whole screen, hopefully. Oh, boy. Oh, well. It's classic dumpster content, right? I want to show you something and talk about you. I don't know what to let you look at while I talk for a moment other than the rock block mounted on Jed. Check it out. When I pull back on the hydraulic lever, lifting the block off of the ground, the back end of Jet squats, and it doesn't have suspension. It's the tires squatting. Those big ass knobby back tires only have 7 psi in them, man. Can you believe that? Okay, on to the topic at hand. I'll, I'll, I'm nervous, guys. I've been working on a video. We looked at that. There's a few files. Here's an image. What's that? Blue canvas darker. It's from my template stock. I use that to form many of my thumbnails and text panels that I might cut to in an edit process. Well, I've done a little editing today. I just called that syncing. When I make a thumbnail now, I'll save multiple versions. Every time I make a change to it, I save that change as a new file, and that way I can sit back and look at them in an editor and do tidying up, right? Straighten up placement of words or sentences. I change font color oftentimes, like I did here. There's syncing 3. And when I see what I like, I'll name it thumb. There's syncing thumb. That's the thumbnail you saw. Okay, let's get rid of that. Now I don't know what to have you look at. I guess you could look at me. I want to have a little talk, guys. Let's rewind a minute, if you would. And I hope you're well, and thanks for coming back, man. Last week, I woke up one morning and I had the fire under my butt to do some unknown testing, to test my latest union with the air variable capacitor on the input. And I found some fascinating things. I'm very tempted to mention a couple things right now, but I'm not, because I want to move on and stick to the topic at hand for a change. And more about that in a moment. So I got done with my unknown testing, and I was thinking about all the things that I might say to you in the video about that. I was getting ready to take the unknown into the bedroom to my electronics bench and make a video for you guys reporting early testing results. But then I did something unusual for me. I went to the YouTube comment section for creators, where it lists every comment that's been left for you. You can choose by category, and by default is a category of not yet replied to. So I don't generally do that though. I reply to comments per video. I actually go to that video and I'll look through the comments that people have left, and oh, there's a new one, and I'll reply to it, type of thing. And a couple notes on that. I have not yet replied to the comments you guys have left for the last 2 videos, and I'll be doing so today. Regarding that, I did see one. I haven't replied to you yet, William, but I saw your comment wondering if it arrived yet. And not yet. I did not check my mail yesterday, and the mail will be arriving any moment. And I'll go out and check today, okay? And okay. So the very first comment that I opened, oh boy, I consider it an attack. I consider it the exact wrong way for somebody to come at me, shouting at me with fact. It was a fact attack. And I'm not going to comment more about that now because I'm going to stay on center. For once, this flaming dumpster is going to burn in the middle of the road. I recorded. I will be posting a video in response to my fact attack. Dear Uncle Blowzo's usually a nice guy, but no. Dear Uncle Blowzo doesn't let people kicking him in the ass without kicking back or shooting back. And by shooting back, I mean verbally. I'm willing to whip mind versus mind. Are you, sir? If you're the one that left that comment, you better be ready, boy. Back to center, Chuck. That comment so dispirited me from doing any further untesting, and I haven't yet. And it dispirited me from any thoughts of making a video. And thus, today's video. Let's look at my page. After that happened, I made 2 more videos. This one and this one. Okay? And the last one, Heathkit on the Air, something happened, guys. Something happened. And I don't know what it is to cause so many subscribers to flee. Could it be that I mentioned answering Y to the F question in the comment section? I find that hard to believe because I did a two-part video series specifically on the subject. You know, I did. All of a sudden, I make this Heathkit on the Air video, and I will be doing Heathkit on the Air. If that offends you, you should unsubscribe. And I'm not being a dick. I'm being serious. You probably should, because what I'm offering here isn't what you're interested in, apparently. And I could talk to you about why I'm going to be doing Heathkit on the Air, but I did in that video at length. And it got so emotional, I had to fight back tears, guys. I'm not going to cover that. We're not going to rehash that now. But what I would like to talk about now, well, again, on that last video, Heathkit on the Air plus saying goodbye to my call sign, if it wasn't answering Y to the F question that drove so many people to flee, maybe it was my vow to operate in a quasi illegal mode, not unlicensed, just have an expired license. I've done everything I could. Again, we won't rehash that. We've talked about it ad nauseum, right? And I'm keeping my spirits up here, guys. I'm just talking to you honestly from my heart. I fool around a lot, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. Okay, maybe that was what drove so many people to flee. And you know what the funny thing is, guys? Like I've told you before, I mentioned this in the last couple videos that my favorite videos, the ones that really touch me or impress me for some aspect, um, they're not my worst performing. And I hate the word performing. It's like having sex. It's like making your love to your wife. Are you performing? No. Fucking no performance art. Let me restate that. My oh boy, I've lost my train of thought. My favorite videos don't gather that many views. They don't gather the least number of views, but they're not overly popular. And maybe that's warning sign number one for me. you know, um, but oh, I gotta try to keep my. I'm losing myself in thought. So maybe it was my fooling around, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, next topic. Why I post. Well, some of you folks, some of you fellas know this already about me, but I mangled my left leg when I fell out of a loft in my barn, and I was offered no medication for pain other than aspirin and ibuprofen because I'm a cardiac patient, and they told me to limit those. Well, I turned to I bought a leaking used 75-gallon aquarium, and I wanted to set up a tank. I figured, well, give me something to do, cut the caulk out and recalk it, learn how to do that. I've never caulked in an aquarium before, so I did. I decided, yeah, I'm gonna set this thing up, man. And I had a mangled broken leg, but I found something weird out, man. Screwing around with that aquarium out in the garage, and especially so when I started watching information about Durso overflows and sump filter design and philosophy, it was all she wrote for me, man. Off my mind went in my brain. My mind got lost in a whirlwind of learning and fascination, and I decided to share it with people. Never shown any of that here. That's another channel of mine that I haven't touched it in going on 3 years probably. Haven't even loaded it in my browser. No, I abandoned it. And it's maybe time for me to shift gears and get back to that because the tank's in the house, the sump's in the house, the Durso overflows in the house, which I perfected. If you guys would like to see my work there, I'll link it below. I'll link that channel below. And so I started sharing all of that on YouTube. I figured, well, dang, man, this thing I just found out's cool with this Durso overflow. I completely silenced it. I said, man, I got to share this. And I did. And I kept on rolling with it, man. Same thing when I discovered my Michigan cacti. I had never heard of a DX Commander before. And I'd always wanted to make that style antenna. And so I finally did. And it worked so god dang well that I wanted to share it with you guys. And did. And well, the channel kept rolling and it kept growing and it started getting a few subscribers. And I was still a long way from the algorithm working in my favor, but hopefully I was getting shares and mentions. And here goes the furnace. I'm going to pause you until the oh, I covered up the pause. I'm going to edit this, so I'll edit this out. this bump. I'm gonna move the rubber band and pause you till the furnace shuts off. Hang on. Ooh, I did nice. Okay. I didn't want to get up and turn the thermostat down because Blitzy is sleeping right by he's sleeping on top of my right foot. And, yeah, so, um, where were we? So my, my early start at a channel evolved into a hobby of sharing. And even that hobby of sharing evolved. As I grew older, and my hobby changed, and what's important to me changed, and my health changed, and on and on. And maybe that's what people finally got sick of me mentioning my health challenges. Man, if so, and I say this without attitude, guys, if me mentioning my health challenges bothers you, you should probably unsubscribe, man. And you really should probably. And I thank you for being here up until now. With all my heart, I thank you for that, for every one of your views, man. But this is my channel and it's my outlet. This channel started as an outlet for my physical pain in my leg, and it grew with me over the last couple plus years. But it's still that. It's still an outlet for me, for my pain, whether it be psychological or physical pain. Man, I'm quickly marching through my retired years, guys. You'll be there someday too. So if this type of thing bothers you, keep in the back of your mind. Someday you will be me. There's no escaping it, man. The only things are in life they say are, oh, what is it? Birthright, taxes, and death? I don't know what it is. Taxes? Well, you could live on public welfare your whole life and never earn a single dollar and do well. But you're still going to buy something, man. You're still going to pay your tax. Anyway, okay, back to topic. The channel's still an outlet for my issues. And if that offends you or bothers you, or if it's even getting old, you should probably unsubscribe, okay? I've talked a lot about bad Blowzo. Well, that's another thought. This channel may come to an end, or it will come to an end eventually, as as the birth of every union requires the death of a union. When a union is born, a union must die. When one YouTube channel dies, another is born. Maybe Bad Blowzo is my future. On YouTube. I don't know. Maybe Dr. Durso is my future on YouTube. Maybe this is still my future on YouTube. I'd like to think it is, and for the time being, it will be. I wonder if you can hear Blitzen panting down there. I bet if I close the door, you could. He gets a little bit apprehensive when Daddy makes a video. When I'm in a good spirit and it's an upbeat video, he pants out of excitement, and other times he pants out of apprehension. But I digress. I recorded another segment to edit onto this one. I'll have to look at it and see. I am going to edit this video, although I hate to. No, I am not. 19 minutes going on 20 minutes. Nope, it's getting posted raw, man. No intro, no outro. My outro will be this. Thanks for stopping by my dump, guys. I really appreciate it, man. It really does mean a lot to me. When I say that, I mean it. Guys, I hope you're well. I've noticed I tend to say that during videos. It's kind of like a nervous habit of mine. I watch a couple crazy, I forget where they're from. Not Yugoslavia, but they fly RC airplanes and they are just a hoot. They're probably in their 50s, and one of them has Captain Blage. It's spelled Blaze. If you YouTube that, you'll find it. You'll find these guys. Captain Blage. Captain Blage. Captain Blage, he has a nervous habit of snapping off salutes. And I guess mine is, I hope you're well. And I do hope you're well, guys. I hope you were willing to watch this video. It means a lot to me because I'm very, very confused by and regarding the loss of subscribers, honestly, it's not the number that bothers me. I really, honestly, when I tell you that 10 subs is as good as 10,000, I almost mean that. Because to me, man, when I make a video, for whatever reason, whether it's for self-help or for information sharing, when I sit and think that 10 people took the time to watch that, it blows my mind. I don't like to think in terms of big numbers. It's scary to me. I'm an introvert. I'm a technician nerd boy who grew up with severe social anxiety issues for very good reason. But those social issues are what created the nerd boy that I am. So it's beautiful. I'm digressing because I'm babbling. And I'm starting to break back into channel character, and I didn't want to do that. Who have you been talking to? You've been talking to Chuck, not N8NK. That's a ham radio operator. Not Blowzo, the humble ham. He's a clown. He likes to hang out in the ham shack. He's just a ham clown. Every field day site has at least one Blowzo, the humble ham, on premises. I guarantee. Oh, man. Again, I guess it's hard. It's scary to me. You guys don't know my psychological state right now, man. Oh, I'm going through some changes. And, oh boy, maybe that's that. Maybe that's why. I don't know. The thing about this, look at this video. You know what, man? It was different for me. Editing, it was different for me. That video was very different than almost any other I've ever done in a few different ways. Makes me wonder, is that why? Have I gotten too weird? Right? I'd like to mention a few things, guys. First off, something about that video, or something about me. In closing, I guess all I can say is thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for staying with me and putting up with me. Thanks for laughing with me and crying with me. I know some of you have. You told me so. I'm not alone in this world. And neither are you. I hope you're well. Take it easy. I'll be back. 73.